This is episode 11, season 2, a solo episode with me, Tiffany Hinton, and we're talking about the energy of the moon and decluttering today on Cultivating Guts. Hello, it's Tiffany, and welcome back to Cultivating Guts, a podcast where we discuss gardening, homesteading, gut health, and following our intuition. I am super excited to be back with you guys. I am back home on the homestead. I know our last episode was filmed from Florida, so we are home. There's so much going on. The garden looks amazing. I'll have to get some photos out there for you to see on Instagram. I've had so many insightful moments, and I had actually something this week that was almost mirroring. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was also a reminder. And I said, that is a great podcast. So today we're going to talk about the importance of decluttering and why that's been part of my life for 20 years. Like, what has that done? So I'm going to share with you more about that on today's podcast. We are actually also simultaneously video recording. So hello, you can catch us in video on Spotify and on YouTube. And we'll have a conversation. We can chat. You can see me, and it'll be fun. And if you have comments, you can put those in the comments on the YouTube channel. And I think there's even a spot now for questions. There is, and for questions on Spotify where you can ask questions if you have follow-up questions after the podcast. So really, really excited to be here. Before we get started, I'd love to have you subscribe to the podcast, rate and review Cultivating Guts podcast, and send me a screenshot of your review. I will send you a free garden planning course that we have on our website. The garden planning course retails for around $60, and that would be yours absolutely free just for leaving us a review. Also, we have a brand new ebook out on our website, www.cultivatingguts.com, that goes into biodynamic gardening and how to get started with 3 easy steps. Super easy for you to follow along and read. Lots of pictures, and would love for you to have that as a free gift, so you can check that out as well. I am so grateful for you and all of our amazing listeners for helping us grow the podcast over the last 2 years and sharing it with more people. Before we head into the show, here is a quick word from our sponsor. All right, today's podcast is sponsored by Cultivating Guts. We have a brand new offering for women. It is our new moon circles. They are live, they are in person, they are full of energy and manifestation. And every month, starting this month, will be our first official. Last month, I did a mini new moon. It will be our first official new moon circle this coming Sunday on July 15th. There are still 4 seats available. We are limiting it to 10 people at a time. So every month there will be no more than 10 people, which will keep it intimate and also give you the space to have the energy that you need. They are going to be energetically aligned people every month because that's what I'm calling in. We will be doing a ritual around the new moon, a manifestation ritual, a gratitude ritual, and then a garden, what I would call a witchcraft, an herbal, some sort of herbal medicinal herb project with garden botanicals, right? Things that are grown naturally by nature, by Mother Earth, that we can infuse to create more grounding energy in our lives and more love and more give back. So details for that can be found over at cultivatingguts.com. Up in the title area in the header, just click on New Moon Circle and that'll get you all the details. There is also a 4-month bundle there as well, where you could purchase the next 4 months of the New Moon Circle and be all set to join us to start manifesting your dreams. So thank you for coming and supporting us. And it's been such a growth opportunity. And I'm so excited to launch the next component of Cultivating Guts, which is our New Moon Circle for adult women. And with that, we're going to head into the show. All right, welcome to Cultivating Guts. I am excited you're here. I'm excited to be home after spending 2 weeks on the ocean over the solstice. It was magical. If you go back and listen to episode 10 of season 2, you'll hear about that. Lots of energy, lots of just things dropping in and just renewed energy. And it was so, so good to be there. But I am excited to be home. I'm excited because the garden, some of the plants are as tall as I am. The horseradish, the lovage, it's taller than me. The sunflowers in our backyard are about 7 feet tall. All of the things that we did to nourish the soil, to create biodynamic soil for the plants to grow, even though we had a drought, right? I would say we had a drought for the month of May and part of June, and we just started getting rain right around the 4th of July. So for about the first 2 months, if I wasn't watering, the garden was dry, dry, dry. And yes, I did have some faux pas, right? Some problems. Like I had to plant some cucumbers 4 times, and I had to replant the uh, green beans, the bush beans. But other than that, like it's amazing. It's awesome. So, so excited. And part of that is the energy of manifestation, the energy that we put forth the beginning of the year, starting in December with Yule about what are the seeds we're planting for this year, putting forth a garden visual, visualizing what you want to grow, planning it out, um, drawing it out, and again visualization there, and then putting in the love and the energy to have the right soil, the consistency of what you need, and the biodynamics to have this soil that's amazing that allows the garden to just to flourish, and to send it love and energy and gratitude and all of that good stuff, right? And for me, part of that love and gratitude and energy is putting pieces of art in the garden, or creating signage or wind chimes, or or even just meditating in the garden area, or doing rituals in that space to create more energy. So I hope you are doing many of the same things, and I hope that your garden is amazing. I would love for you to take a picture, tag me in an Instagram story, show me your garden, show me what you grew. That would be super fun. That would be a whole fun thing to do. And so today we're going to talk about decluttering. And I promise to keep this podcast a little shorter just because I'm already like honestly squeezing this into my morning. It wasn't planned. I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do that. So here we are. I'm doing it. Okay. So decluttering, what is it, right? Decluttering is when you remove the clutter from a space in your home, whether it's a kitchen drawer, which is what I always told people when I was doing health coaching to start with, like clean out the junk drawer. It creates a new energy, right? So similarly, but not exactly the same as like feng shui, that's like a whole nother level. But it's the idea of, or even Marie Kondo, right? That's like a verb now. It's even though it's a woman's name. It's the idea of removing the unwanted, removing the things that no longer serve you, removing the things that cause you stress, and making room for something new. And this is super important as we're launching the new moon circles, because part of the new moon circle is this manifestation ritual, creating new moon wishes. And in order to have this space in your aura field and to receive those, you have to have the space for them to come into your life. And if you've got so much stuff around you, I actually cleaned my office this week, and I've rearranged the furniture. As you can see, there's a different background, even though this is the wall that's always been on this wall. You guys normally look at the wall on the left side, or the wall to the north. And this is the wall to the west. But even though you've called in stuff, sorry guys, previously, or you've wanted things and they've shown up, they may have passed their time. They may have outgrown their welcome. They may now be causing you stress and you no longer want those things and you want to smack them away, brush them away, sweep them away, or just get them out, right? There also may be things that are in your space, in your home, that were gifted to you that never energetically were aligned. They never energetically served you. And it's okay to re-gift them, to give them away, to offer them for free, or just to get them out and throw them out, right? Depending on what they are, they can be donated like to AmVets or the Goodwill or Salvation Army. They could be added to a composter if it's like organic cloth or kitchen towels that are organic that are breaking down, or newspapers, magazines, like things like that that can be recycled. You could just throw them in your composter. If, or they could be repurposed. I remember as a child, so a lot of you know and some of you have no idea, but as a child, I was raised by my grandmothers who were, born and raised during the Depression in America. And then my mother was a single mother for over 11 years, and we were on welfare. So yes, free school lunches, food stamps, the whole thing. I've experienced it. Rural America as well, right? So And pretty much, I wasn't an urban kid growing up, even though we live in the Chicagoland area now. It was very much a small town, farm feel. Some people would call it country bumpkins, right? There's all these different stereotypes. But that being said, one of the things that we would do, me and my cousin and my aunt primarily, sometimes my mom helped, sometimes she was working because she worked third when she did have, when she was working. So she'd be sleeping or something. But we would, in order to change the energy, and I had no idea that's what we were doing, but now that I look back, that is definitely what we're doing. In order to change the energy of a space or of a room, sometimes we would get out paint and we would paint the room, change the color, right? My grandma was always really big about washing the walls. Washing the walls washes away the dirt, washes away the dust, but it also washes away the old energy and the old feel of the room. You can now, like when I do sometimes and I wash the walls, I add a little rosemary essential oil, or you could add a different essential oil that creates a different energetic vibe. I have a friend of mine in Michigan, Lindsay, she's actually been on the podcast too. When she repainted some of her rooms, she ground crystals and added them to the paint because she wanted the energetics of certain crystals in those spaces. So you could even do that. But what we would do when I was kids is we would say, okay, here's all the stuff I no longer want. And it might be like baskets or pictures on walls, or I don't even know. It was just like tchotchkes and random knickknacks and whatever, right? And and then everybody would kind of have these little things of like, I just don't want this stuff. And so we would either at family dinners on Sunday at my grandma's, people would show up with cardboard boxes and they'd be like, this is stuff I don't want anymore. Right. And other people would like go through it like it was the swap meet and take it home with them. Or with my Aunt Sandy in my mom's house, or even my house when I was living down there, it would be like, well, I don't want this couch anymore, or I don't want this shelf anymore. And it'd be like, cool, I'm going to use that and I'm going to redecorate this space in my home, or I'm going to move things around. And we would swap furniture, or we would swap decorative things or organizers, and it would create new energetic feel. And sometimes you would swap and you'd use it and then you'd be like, I'm done with it. And they'd take it back and use it again. And so it was a way, when there wasn't a lot of money just to run to Home Goods and buy brand new stuff, which you don't always have to do that, to shift the energy and to create a different space. And so I came back, and a great time to do decluttering is with the full moon. The full moon is a time when it's the amazing energy to cut cords, to get rid of energetic bindings, to get rid of things in your physical space or even your mental space that no longer serve you, and to like get them out, to create the space. So when the new moon comes, I live my life around the moon cycles, if you haven't noticed. When the new moon comes, you have space to download more from the universe, to manifest more, to have the open-mindedness to think differently, to think broader, to be okay being uncomfortable for a little while, just to have that aura field open up and bring in more stuff. So we came back from Florida on the full moon. We flew home on the full moon, and it was exhausting. I slept and I slept and I slept and I slept some more because I always sleep around the full moon anyway. And then I started looking around our house and I was like, I don't love it anymore. I don't love it. And it's not that I have to pack up and move to Florida because that is going to love everything. I love my homestead. I love my chickens. I love where we're at, and I love my neighbors. There's just parts of our home that I'm just like, it's exhausting to look at, which means it's causing me some stress. It's causing me, it's got too much of the wrong energy in it for where I'm at. And people change energetic levels over time, right? You go up, you go down, you ebb and you flow. And so in my office specifically, I loaded up 2 bags of trash. I was just like, I'm done with it. And then I did some like visualization, and I know that I want to get a credenza type or maybe another buffet or something. I have an idea, a boho style, that I want to put on the other side of the room on the north end. And I want to move a lot of stuff that I have on a lower white shelf into this larger unit, because what I'm finding is I have collected over the last 4 or 5 years a lot of different crystals, a lot of different components of nature. I actually have, if you're on video, brand new. It is a bird's nest. and I'm not going to touch it because it falls apart very easily, but it is an old bird's nest that when they were doing the siding on our house and they took everything down and the lighting, the guys very carefully, instead of just chucking the bird's nest into the dumpster, saved it. Yeah. I don't know how they knew that I would want that. Maybe they had already peeked inside the house and saw that I have like driftwood and we have sea glass and I have glass from the river and we have shells and acorns, and maybe they just knew energetically that I'm an earth, witch, and I'm a green witch and I would want the bird's nest. But so I want to kind of, as I've collected different components of nature, go through it and decide, what do I want to give back and put in the compost or put back out for nature? And what do I want to keep in this space? Because energetically it's still fulfilling me and it's helping me, and it's what feels aligned, right? One of the ways that you can do that is you can hold the object in your hands, or you can touch the piece of furniture or whatever, close your eyes and mentally ask, is this still suited for me? Is this still the right thing? And whatever that first inclination is, yes or no, that's the answer. And you may not like the answer. And so if you're doing that, and a lot of women will do this in their closet, right? You'll say like, these clothes have to go, or because they don't fit anymore. But what about the clothes that still fit but just make you feel bleh? And I had a different shirt on this morning and I was like, yep, gots to go. For me, I keep a bag in my bedroom where it's a donation bag. And anytime there's a piece of clothing that comes back from laundry that I'm just like, I don't like it anymore, or there's a piece of clothing that, like this morning, I put it on after it'd been washed. I'm like, I don't want to wear it again. It goes in there because at the end of the month, I can donate those clothes to a women's shelter. I can donate them to Wings in Chicago. I can take those clothes to other women that can use them. Similarly, in your house, even in your kitchen or in your space or in your office, if there's things that are like, no, but yet you're like, I can't get rid of that. So-and-so gave it to me. Yes, you can get rid of it. I'm giving you permission right now. You can get rid of it. And if you're still like on the fence, you can put it in an Amazon box and put the box in your garage or by your back door. And if you don't get the item out for a month, then get rid of it. You don't need it. There's something better for you. And that's what we're doing when we're doing this decluttering. We're removing the physical and emotional pieces that are stopping us from the next big thing. And when I say the next big thing could be a new house being painted. It could be a brand new bathroom. It could be a new car. It could be a new shirt, a new necklace. It could be a trip to Tahiti. I don't know. I don't know what you're manifesting. It could be a brand new group of friends. The really cool thing is this, I've been telling myself, like when I was in Florida, I did my Kundalini yoga. I walked 3 miles in the morning on the beach. Like I had this time, and then I got back and I'm like, oh my God, we got like to finish cleaning the house. I got things to weed in the garden. I got to be in the corporate office. We got practice. We got, right? I've like overcrowded our family schedule. And I know many of you are in the same boat. And I'm like, oh, I just want to get back into my morning practice. I want to have that energy. And so I put it on my new moon wishes. Like one of my new moon wishes is to have my daily practice. And then last week I was sitting in a room with my boss and she's like, how do you feel coming off vacation? And I'm like, I feel like I just need to figure out how to have balance again, because I had all this me time and this energetic time and yogic time and nature time on vacation. And now I'm like, I don't have it at all. And she's like, same. Like she had just went to Bali. And so the last few days I'm like, what can I get rid of to create the space for a meditation in the mornings? What can I shift? What can I change? And last night I was listening to, I am so caught up, addicted, I guess. Maybe it's an addiction. I don't want to say that, but I feel like it is. Most people binge watch shows, TV shows or series or movies or movie series. I am a binger of books. I will find a series of books and I will binge the whole series. And I'm at 45 books that I've listened or read to, and it's only June. So we might hit 100 this year, depending on how this goes. But I think I went through 5 books the first 4 days of vacation, right? So yes, I can multitask when I am listening to an audiobook, but at the same time, I find a lot of times that I'm not multitasking when I'm listening to an audiobook. I'm listening to an audiobook and either walking or sitting or playing like something on my phone while I'm listening. And I'm not really necessarily, depending on the book, doing something that gets me to the energy that I want. And so this lately, when I wake up early in the morning or I wake up at 4:30 and I can't sleep, in the past, I would have gotten up, went to my yoga mat, stretched, did some yoga, did some meditation. The last few weeks, when that happened, I put in my headphones and listened to a book. And so last night, my book finished. And I intentionally did not go get the next book in the series. I went and I got a Melissa Ambrosia book. She's an author out of Australia, New Zealand area. If you've never listened to her, she's got a bunch of great ones. But I went and got one of her books. I'm going to intentionally disrupt what I've been doing. And this morning, because I didn't necessarily have a fictional book in a series to go listen to, I got up out of bed and I went to my mat. And I tuned in on my Intune app. And I did a Kundalini series for expanding my aura. And then my brain said, and record that podcast you said you were going to do yesterday. And it's actually on my to-do list from yesterday on the paper. So not only do you need to declutter, sometimes you need to disrupt. You need to disrupt the pattern. You need to disrupt the sequence or the schedule in order to have space to be able to change. And I know these are hard lessons, myself included, but we all have to do them if we're going to want to manifest something different than we currently have. And a lot of us think, well, I deserve it. Or, yeah, you deserve everything and anything, right? You deserve it all. I agree. But deservability doesn't necessarily get it to be received. You have to create the space for it, which means you have to get rid of the stuff that's no longer needed, right? Or energetically aligned, or you have to get rid of the clutter. You have to get rid of the emotional components. You have to cut the binds, release the cords, do all of that stuff. And if you need like suggestions on cord releasing ceremonies or different things, you reach out. I got lots of resources. I know lots of people that can help you with that space. Very, very much so in my my circle. I've got a lot of spiritually connected people. You need to do that. Next, after you do that decluttering, you clear the space, you get it all out of the way, you need to allow that space to stay open, right? Because sometimes the universe delivers things in a way that you don't expect. My husband will tell you that I am the queen of manifestation, but I'm also the queen of destruction. Because I didn't always follow what Florence Shin says, where you should say what you want with grace and ease at the end, right? You should always follow it up with grace and ease in the perfect way. Grace and ease in the perfect way. And I sometimes, many, many times, just say what I want. I want it now. I'm very demanding of the universe and God. And I forget the grace and ease in the perfect way. And then destruction happens. And some of my Kundalini teachers will tell you that destruction is part of creation, and you can't have creation without destruction. But you can have destruction that's not as harmful as house floods, house fires, trees falling on our house, because I was like, I need a new roof. I want new siding. And I've been saying, I want a new roof. I want new siding for like 4 years. 2 trees fell on our house last fall. Our new roof and new siding are done as of last week and paid for. But maybe not in the most perfect way. Another example, I wanted to remodel. I wanted a new kitchen. This has been 7-8 years ago. And I was writing it down and I was putting it down and I was journaling about it. And I wanted an updated bathroom, and our house flooded from the upstairs. They gutted our house. We got new hardwood floors. It was so bad. We got new drywall. It was so bad. I got to live in a hotel for 40 days because the flood was so bad. That is not necessarily the way that you want to clean out, right? So allow the stuff to come in when it's supposed to come in the way that is most perfect and ease and grace. Okay. So just think about that as well. And if something starts to come in and you're like, wait, I don't want that. At some point you said it out loud. At some point you said that you wanted that. And I'll give you an example of that as well. We were going to Florida this past time we went, right, a few weeks ago, and we booked Frontier because they had kids fly free with adult tickets, which right now, most of you know, airline tickets have shot through the roof again. So I was like, cool, kids fly free with adult purchase, which means 2 of our children fly free. And we've never had an issue with Frontier. Now, everybody has stories about every airline, but I've never had an issue with Frontier. So I was like, cool. My girls found out we were not flying United or American, and they kept saying, this is going to suck. This is going to be bad. This is this. Is that. And it was always negative, always negative. Do you know our flight to Florida was 10 hours because we had delays. We had gate changes. We had more delays. We were waiting on a flight crew. We ended up in a terminal that is full of construction. And so what should have been a 4-hour from our house to where we were headed. Oh, then we get to Florida and we have no car to take us to the island because that's all messed up too. It ended up being 10 hours of travel. And so just because you're like, wait, that's not what I wanted, God. That universe, I didn't ask for that. At some point you did, and they're delivering on what you asked for. So keep in mind when you speak things into reality, you speak things into your existence, what you say becomes truth. And so as you're decluttering and you're opening up this space, right? Step 1, declutter. Step 2, leave, open the space, be ready to receive. Make sure you have the energetic and the mindset to receive stuff with grace and ease in the most perfect way, right? Keep that positive, optimistic attitude. Be open for those little things that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize, but it's here. Or this person, I was supposed to meet them for this very reason. Like keep those things in mind because things will start to show up. And when you're in flow, they will show up so quickly and things will fall in place and they will drop and it will be so exciting. Of my 10 new moon wishes from just 3 weeks ago, because the new moon is not till this coming week, I think 4 of them are already come through. One of them dropped the same day. Same day I wrote it on paper and said it out loud, it fell into my lap. So it can happen. It's exciting. And if you do it with the power of the moon, in cycle with the moon, it's even more, for me, it's faster, I guess. It's more real. And so with that, guys, I said I'd keep this short. I hope you have a magical new moon. It is coming. I believe it is on the 16th. No, it's on the 17th of this month in July is the new moon. And I'll post some stuff on Instagram about the new moon, but it is the perfect energy to be ready for. So you have a few more days to create space, to declutter, to move things out of the way, to make room to have some new wishes and to have some new manifestations drop for you. Thank you for tuning in. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Share with me what your favorite part was and share with me when you're going to do your own new moon ritual. Or are you going to join us? We are getting together at 2 o'clock, July 16th for our new moon circle. And tickets are available on my website, www.cultivatingguts.com. Ask me any questions you have. I'm here for you, and I'm excited to see what you manifest. Satnam, love you guys. So if you love this episode, remember to share it with your friends. Send it to anyone who may love this inspiration and information that I shared today on Cultivating Guts. To get our newest book, The Green Witch Gardening Planner, you can find that on Amazon or our website, www.cultivatingguts.com. And to download my newest ebook, The Biodynamic Gardening Guide, Simple 3 Easy Steps to Biodynamic Gardening, you can get that for free on our website, www.cultivatingguts.com. And I'm so excited to see what you are going to grow in your life, whether it's plants in a garden or it's things that you're going to grow emotionally, physically, or you're going to manifest them through growth. That is amazing. I'm excited. So our very next live event is the New Moon Circle for adult women this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. And we're meeting on the homestead, which is going to be super excited. You can get your tickets, like I said, on our website, www.cultivatingguts.com. Click at the top on New Moon Circle, and it'll take you right there. You can get a bundle or you can purchase each month individually, whatever works for your schedule. All of those are either on a Saturday or Sunday, because I know many of us women have kids to run around during the week. We have jobs, we have lives. I get it. So they're intentionally on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. And every single time we get together for the New Moon Circle, we will be doing rituals for the new moon, we will be doing movement, breath work, a little bit of Kundalini, and we will be doing an herbal, botanical, or medicinal project, a witchcraft. We'll be creating some really cool stuff and some fun stuff from our own smudging sticks to other hand lotions. Last month we did kitchen salts, herb infused salts, and we also dried basil. We cleaned it up and crushed it and bottled dry basil for the kitchen for creating dishes and food, and infused with organic basil, right? So really cool stuff. And I am excited for us to get together and have some big transformations together with the Newman Circle. You can get all the details over at our website, www.cultivatingguts.com. You'll see everything you need there to become a master gardener. And you guys laugh, but I am a gardening coach. I'm a certified gardening coach. I go out and I help other people set up their raised bed gardens. I help do coaching around biodynamic gardening, along with coaching on pest control and all kinds of things when it comes to gardening. So if you're looking to garden like your grandmother and have this wild and abundant garden, let me know. I would love to help you. I do 2 coaching calls a month, consultations, and I can even do site visits if you're within 1 hour of me, or we could do a Zoom visit. But as a certified garden coach, I would love to help you get going and growing your own food to help you in your lifestyle, and to have a sustainable life where you can just give back to your family and to Mother Earth, and just to have all of your dreams. It'd be amazing. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day.